Okay, so for this video assignment, the assignment is to provide an in-depth discussion of the behavioral characteristics of autism spectrum disorder that I have observed so far. What interventions did you observe being used to address those behaviors, and did they seem to be effective? Why or why not? The little boy I observed for this class, Ezra, is a very high-functioning child diagnosed with Asperger's. The most obvious behavior that I observed was his obsession with fans, which in speaking to his mom has been present since he was 2 years old. The intervention that I observed with mom to address this was just to enjoy him. She used fans and she used fans as a reward. For instance, for good behavior, she allows him to visit his favorite restaurant, which, not coincidentally, has his favorite, most ornate fans. She also has an old broken fan that she allows him to take apart and put back together so he can explore the way fans work further. I feel this approach has positives and negatives. Using fans as a reward for positive behavior seems to work, but it just wasn't used very consistently. And I feel that this was due in part because it is difficult to give him, a reward of using or of seeing his favorite fan immediately. For a child his age, I feel like sometimes they need more immediate reward, like a ticket or like an edible or something tangible that they can touch and something immediate. But because it takes time to go do it, yeah, and it's something. And it turns out that Ezra doesn't really respond to tangibles or edibles, especially edibles, due to his sensory issues. So it is difficult for mom to brainstorm immediate kinds of rewards like that. Ezra does like to play electronics, so that is another reward that's used. The other main behavior that I observed in my time with Ezra is in maintaining social relationships. In a previous assignment, I observed a video that was taken of Ezra at a museum trip with a mom's group with Ezra fighting with his brother. And if you saw my last video, you already know that I definitely feel like the parent that was taking this video was doing so inappropriately. And I also feel like I need to note that out of the other 10 other children that were present on this outing, Ezra chose to stay close to his younger brother and interacted minimally with the other kids. I also observed Ezra preferring to use electronics instead of interacting socially. He would continually try to take his mom's phone, computer, tablet at different places instead of interacting with the other kids or with people. The interventions that I saw being used to address this was that mom was very socially active and continually takes Ezra to mom's groups outings so that he can, and she, I think it's important that she gets to be with her peers too. So both of them get to be with their peers. The problem is that one particular family in this group isn't very kind to them, but to address this, mom says she had a backup group that she has started to hang out with that she felt is more accepting of Ezra. Another intervention that I saw used was social skills teaching, which occurs during church. Ezra attends a local church and mom helps in the primary. They visit weekly. Mom stated that the primary lessons often focus on teaching good behavior with a religious focus. So I was able to attend with them, and I observed the primary teacher teaching about honesty, and what that looks like. And I do feel that this was an effective intervention for Ezra. All the kids participating are positively trained to sit for a long period of time, which I feel is helpful in a school setting. So these kids were sitting for a 45-minute primary lesson, and the primary teachers did a really good job of, engaging them and, taking little short breaks. They were all in their seats, but they would sing a song that required movement, so they would have to come up or down to help maintain that focus on the lesson. And I liked how the primary teacher also modeled different scenarios. So the children were actually invited to come up, and they did different role play activities to demonstrate this honesty lesson. And I feel that that is definitely one of the EBPs that we have talked about. And then another intervention I saw mom using to help with social skills was extracurriculars such as swimming and martial arts training. Ezra attends a local martial arts school with his brothers twice a week, and he attends swimming during the summertime 3 times a week. Mom stated that she particularly likes the martial arts school because the teachers focus on building stamina and creating positive social relationships, as well as getting some of his energy focused on something besides electronics and fans. And he seemed to enjoy it as well. Another intervention that I observed being used was pretty consistent scheduling during the week. Ezra always knew what was going to happen next. I don't think this was intentional, but this is just how they run their lives. And then if anything deviated from the schedule, Mom made sure to really, tell Ezra and let him know the reasoning behind the deviation in the schedule. So, for instance, because I was visiting, she was like, okay, so we might be, we're going to do this today instead of this because she's here, because we want to really make sure that, Katie is welcome, right? And she told me that she had to do that because it was helpful to avoid any anxiety that he might experience with a schedule change. All in all, I really enjoyed observing Ezra. He's a great kid, and I think he's going to be great. Anyway, that's it.